All right, moving on now to an exclusive report on Pakistan's double game on terrorism. Now, the intelligence sources have told our correspondent Manish Shukla that Pakistan is releasing Talibani terrorists from jails to fan terror in India's northern state of Jammu and Kashmir. According to our correspondent, intelligence agencies have submitted a report to this effect to the Indian Home Ministry. The report says that Pakistan may be plotting major terror attacks on Indian security forces with the help of Taliban in the summer months. It says Pakistan has released many Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan terrorists from jails and instructed them to sneak into Jammu and Kashmir for attacks. The report says the ISI has set up a training camp in Nayali forest area of Pak-occupied Kashmir among a group of 135 terrorists working with Jaish-e-Mohammed. There are some from the Pakistani Taliban as well. The Indian Home Ministry fears that the Amarnath Yatra scheduled in June faces a high security threat. Right, joining me live from the WION newsroom is my colleague Mohammed Saleh. Good morning, Mohammed. What more details do we have at this explosive revelation?
Right, good morning to you, Ramesh. Now, it is important first to understand that this is source-based information that's come through where the Indian intelligence agencies now have good reason to believe that Pakistan is in fact trying to push through some of these Taliban terrorists not onto their Afghan border but into India. Now, this will be a clear shift in their strategy if this indeed has been happening, because remember, Pakistan, especially its deep state, which is known to in fact patronize and also use these terror organizations to further their state policy. Taliban so far had been used essentially in Afghanistan to try and manipulate the situation there. But now for the first time what we are hearing is that Talibani militants could also be pushed into India to try and foment more trouble in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, especially over the course of the last 1 year, we know for a fact that Pakistan is under extreme amount of pressure from the United States to try and crack down on terror elements. Hafiz Saeed is someone who's been a lot in the talks. He's been a sore sticking point. He also had been charged under the anti-terror law within Pakistan itself and had been held for a considerable period of time in his own home, in a detention center. Now, what is in fact being said according to these sources within the intelligence agencies, that probably there's a shift where perhaps the reliance which perhaps the Pakistani state, which it may have had on Hafiz Saeed, maybe that may lessen to an extent, and some of these Taliban militants could in fact be pushed into Jammu and Kashmir.
And also, Mohammed, we are given to understand that the Amarnath Yatra is scheduled to begin sometime next month, which is barely weeks away. And the reports say that Amarnath Yatra could be among their targets. What more details do we have on this point?
All right. Now, the fact of the matter is the Amarnath Yatra is something that is, of course, considered to be a little bit in a bit of a high risk considering the situation in the Kashmir Valley. Now, it is, of course, what Pakistan has always been trying to do to try and foment trouble in India, and to target Amarnath Yatra in in the state of Jammu and Kashmir is something that would be a prized target for the state of Pakistan to foment more trouble in India. This is something that may happen. The intelligence agencies have now alerted the Home Ministry about this threat. It is now incumbent on the Home Ministry to ensure that nothing of this nature, in fact, happens.
Right, on that note, Mohammed, thank you so much for joining me with all that latest update.